This is your Pac-Man GP. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you another very exciting invention today. And but before that, I need to ask you, I hope you all are fine. You had a good weekend. I surely did. Did a little bit of traveling here and there. So I'm a little fatigued, but that's okay. So on that note, I will begin my today's presentation. But before beginning, I want to urge you all, please subscribe to my channel at the rate of Pacman GP. Please like my videos, share my videos. Please post your queries in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer all your queries. So on that note, I'll just begin my presentation. So today's invention is concerning a very utility kind of a product. On your screen, you have the title of today's invention. So the title is toothbrush with replaceable bristle head. So that is the title of today's invention, and a patent is already been granted by the Indian Patent Office for this particular invention. On the next slide, you'll see the patent number, which is 442839, which is the granted patent number for this particular invention, and it has been granted in the name of an individual, SELVAN Vaidya. I'm sorry, and it seems Mr. or Miss Vaidya. I'm not sure about the gender of the inventor. It seems they are a United States resident. This is a convention application that has been filed in India, which means that an application for a patent has already been filed in the United States by the inventor, and from there they have filed a patent application for the same invention in India, and now it has been granted in India. Okay, so these are some of the credentials of this particular granted patent. If you're really interested, you can visit the Indian Patent Office database website called InPass, and all these details would be available on the Patent Office website. So moving on, before I go on to explain what is today's invention, I would like to spend some time on discussing about what is the problem which the inventor has identified in the prior art. So as you know, toothbrushes are made up of plastic. Now, it is recommended that a person, they replace their existing toothbrush after use for every 3 months. Okay, so after every 3 months, the toothbrush has to be replaced, which is what is generally recommended by oral health specialists or dentists, basically. Okay. Now, it might so happen that a person who is religiously changing their toothbrush after every 3 months, such kind of a person would be using at least 4 toothbrushes in a year. Now you multiply by that number by the number of members, say in a nuclear family, husband, wife, and 2 children. So 4 multiplied by 4, so 16 toothbrushes would be sort of discarded by such kind of a family, and then you multiply that by the number of families in a community, in a city, in a state, or in a country. And that is the amount of plastic that is discarded, or that has to be recycled, or that has to be dumped in the environment. So that is a very big hazard. That is a very big environmental hazard, especially originating because of the use of a very important personal accessory like a toothbrush. Okay, but although we cannot avoid using a toothbrush, because all the toothbrushes are made up of plastic and polymeric materials, which have to be discarded, they are definitely harmful for the environment. So here, this is the problem which the inventor has identified in the prior art, and it is the objective of the inventor to ensure that some amount of plastic use of plastic, or so the use of plastic in a toothbrush, some amount of it can be minimized. Although plastic cannot be done away so far as toothbrush is concerned, plastic is, or a polymer is a very important material, raw material that is used for manufacturing a toothbrush. But nevertheless, if at all some amount of that particular plastic, if it can be minimized, or it can be reduced while manufacturing a toothbrush, then definitely that would be a technical advantage, and which is what the inventor is supposed to be seeking while proposing their invention. So I'll go to the invention, having understood what are the problems that have been located by the inventor from the prior art. On the next slide, we have on the top, we have a front view of a toothbrush. Some of the main components of a toothbrush are as follows. So at number 2, we have the handle. So this is the handle entirely. This is the handle. Okay. On the bottom, in the bottom drawing, you can see the handle. This is the backside view. Maybe you can call it the top view also. It's not the backside view. I'm sorry. It's the top view basically of a toothbrush. At number 4, we have a bristle base. Okay. So this hatching line over here on the top, this is the bristle base. And to the bristle base, we have the bristles attached. So the bristles are used for cleaning, cleaning the teeth. This is the basic construction of a known toothbrush. We go to the next slide. Now, here what we find is that a bristle base at number 4, we have the bristle base. Okay. Now this bristle base is something that is attached on the head of a brush. Okay. How it is attached, I will just explain. So this bristle base is one component, and on your screen you can see the sectional front view of a bristle base, which is at number 4. On the top, we have the bristles which are used for cleaning the teeth. And at the bottom, there is a straight edge, which is called as the bottom surface at number 16. So these are the straight edges. And between the straight edges 16, we have a longitudinal protrusion. Now, I will urge the viewers to take note of the peculiar contour or the peculiar design of this longitudinal protrusion. We move on to the next slide. This is the front view of a handle, you can say. Okay. And on the top of the handle, we have at number 14 the top surface of the head portion of the handle. I'm sorry for this spelling mistake here. Okay. So this is the top portion. Okay. And here we have a kind of a longitudinal slot. So again, I will urge you to take note of the contour of this slot. So this peculiar slot has a shape whereby, if we go to the previous slide, whereby the longitudinal protrusion of the bristle base would get easily accommodated. Do you see? I'll just move back and forth. So this protrusion at number 8 would get easily accommodated in this longitudinal slot, which is at number 10. And that is exactly how this particular assembly is being brought about by the inventor. Okay. Here we have an assembly of the bristle base 4, which is assembled on the handle. And as you can see, the bristle base is snugly fitting on the handle. Okay. Therefore, we say that this bristle base is removable, and whenever the user who is using this particular toothbrush, when they want to throw away the toothbrush, instead of throwing away the entire toothbrush, they can just remove the bristle base and replace it with another bristle base, a fresh one. So therefore, the plastic that is used to manufacture the entire toothbrush, that entire plastic is not being thrown away. Okay, only that portion of the toothbrush is thrown away, which is corresponding with the bristle base. So therefore, this is how the inventor has sought to minimize the the use of plastic, or the probability of throwing away plastic, but in a minimized manner. And therefore, that seems to be the technical advancement which the inventor has claimed in this particular patent, and for which the Indian Patent Office has granted a patent. We go to the next slide. Here there is one more aspect that has also been claimed by the inventor as a part of their inventive step. Now here we see that number 8 here is the longitudinal protrusion. So this is the sectional front view of the brush. And at number 8 is the longitudinal protrusion. I'll just move back to this slide. You see the hatching line over here. Okay, so this is the longitudinal protrusion at number 8. So the longitudinal protrusion is snugly fitting inside the longitudinal slot, and therefore this assembly is brought about. Now here there is an upwardly sloping region of the bristle base. The bristle base is at 4, okay, and as the bristle base is getting snugly fit inside the longitudinal slot of the handle 2, okay, there is an upwardly sloping region of the bristle base that also corresponds with the upwardly sloping region of the head. So you see this surface over here. Okay, at number 18 we have an upwardly sloping region of the head, which is part of the particular head, and then on the top we have an upwardly sloping region of the bristle base. Okay, and both these surfaces, they sort of correspond with each other as the longitudinal protrusion slides inside the longitudinal slot. Okay, so this is today's invention, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you liked it. An Indian patent has been granted for this particular invention, as I've already mentioned before. So if you like today's invention, please subscribe to my channel at the rate of PacmanGP. Please comment. Please share my videos to as many people as possible. Please like my videos. And until next time, this is your Pacman GP.